Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome, I guess we're live. Who needs any introduction? Who needs graphics? Who needs music? We don't need any of that stuff. Let's just get into it, shall we? I'm so glad you all are joining me, or at least you're joining me later, or something like that. It's a Friday, Fact Check Friday. Today's the 19th of April. Where the hell's the year going? Anyway, have a cup of coffee. All right, let's see. I think we're live. Who cares? Who cares? We'll do it anyway, right? Yeah, looks like we're live. Yeah, cool. Let's do it. Let's do it then. We don't need anybody watching. We can just do a show nonetheless. Anyway, welcome back to the circus of current affairs, where the only thing more unstable than the economy is my faith in government statistics. So, did you hear the latest magic trick pulled off by the Labor Department? Apparently, they've mastered the art of making unemployment claims disappear. Poof. 5 out of 6 weeks, the numbers stay right around the same. 212,000. It's like Groundhog Day, but instead of a cute rodent, we get a suspiciously consistent jobless claim figure. Now, call me skeptical, but when was the last time anything in this country remained stable for more than a week? I mean, have you seen Congress lately? The only thing they can agree on is that they can't agree on anything. But here's the kicker. Some folks out there are saying, hey, someone's cooking the books. You've got analysts, they're scratching their head, Wall Street raising eyebrows, conspiracy theorists coming out of the woodworks faster than you can say fake news. And you know what's really scary? It's not just about unemployment numbers. It's about trust. Can we trust anything the government tells us anymore? I mean, if they can make jobless claims vanish into thin air, what else are they hiding? Are government statistics less reliable than a magic 8-ball? All signs point to yes. But in all seriousness, folks, this isn't just about poking fun at the bureaucrats and their numerical gymnastics. It's about the credibility of our institutions. If we can't trust the numbers, how can we trust the policies that are built on those numbers? Here's the bottom line. Until we get some real transparency, accountability in government reporting, I'll be taking those unemployment figures with a grain of salt, or maybe a shot of tequila, just to be safe. Because in a world where even the numbers can't be trusted, it's every citizen for themselves. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show. It's a commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah, who needs bumpers? Who needs music? Who needs any of that when you can just have your system just go down and stop working and delete everything that you've been working on? Weird, huh? I was trying to get some new programs on my computer that does graphics so I could improve the graphics for the show. And now the other program that I didn't ever use somehow is not working. Weird stuff. But it is what it is. So anyway, I wanted to start off today by talking about this news story. Now, this comes out of CNBC, which is, wait a minute, aren't they supposed to be representatives of the government anyway? I mean, that's what we all think. But the recent stability in the U.S. jobs market, as reflected in consistent initial claims for unemployment benefits, has attracted attention and speculation. Over the past several weeks, first-time claims have remained fixed at 212,000, except for 1 week at 222,000. This unusual consistency has sparked some debate, with some questioning the validity of the data, suggesting manipulation, while others attribute it to seasonal adjustments. Analysts point out that while the national figures appear stable, variations exist among individual states' data, Labor Department acknowledges the uncommon nature of the consistent figures, but attributes it to effective seasonal adjustments rather than any anomaly. That's the claim. The claim that they're making is they've pretty much had the exact same number of people in this entire country file first-time unemployment claims. 5 out of 6 weeks in a row. The exact same number of people are filing this claim. This doesn't look legit. Now, I have suggested that jobs numbers, and these are not the jobs number, these are first-time unemployment claims, okay? But I've said that these numbers are all cooked because it's an election year. We got to make the economy look good. And pretty much every time they put a jobs report out, they go back later and they update it. Like all the new jobs that were created every month. They go back and they update it. And for like the last year and a half, every single month, they've updated it lower than what was initially reported. And I suspect that that will continue as well. But this is quite an anomaly that first-time unemployment claims are exactly the same week after week after week. You're not, even if you're cheating, you're not supposed to cheat this bad. Even if you're rigging things, you can't make it look this obvious. But this is an example that they can make it this obvious. They can make it so obvious that they put out the exact same number week after week after week of brand new jobless claims. The exact number nationwide. And nothing. Crickets. No one will question it. This will not come up in a question to the White House or anything like that. This isn't news. This isn't news, right? We got the show trial of Trump in New York, the Stormy Daniels thing. Oh, that's what we're all concentrating on. We're all concentrating on all these other things that don't really matter. Shouldn't it matter that it appears to me and a lot of other people that they're just flat out lying to the American people about employment numbers? That should be a story. That should be a story. My question is, if you watch any other news programs, if you happen to watch any other news programs, see if this is a story on the nightly news tonight. See if this is covered on CNN. See if this is covered on Fox News. That first-time claims are exactly the same week after week after week. They're not even trying. They're not even trying to hide it. So, Anyway, what's up to everybody in the chat? I will go through all your chat in the after show. Stick around for that. I don't suspect it's going to be a long show because I got no graphics. If you came in here late, I screwed up again. And somehow I reset my program and none of my settings are saved for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't even know. The computer that I do my graphics from, I don't even have connected to the internet anymore. I've had it taken off of the internet so that hopefully nothing can change it. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I should have something that I could do as a bumper, but I don't. But here's what I can do. I can go do 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 do. All right. And I guess no one's watching on YouTube apparently. That's okay. That's okay. What's up, everybody on Rumble? Nice. Or people are watching on YouTube, and it's just telling me that literally not a single person is watching on YouTube. So, again, can we trust these numbers? Right? I'm seeing people in the chat. I'm seeing people leave messages, and I'm also looking, and it's telling me that I have 0 concurrent viewers right now. So I don't know. I can't even trust those numbers. Anyway, we got a number of stories to get to today. I want to do a little follow-up on these anti-Israel protesters who blocked the Golden Gate Bridge for hours. Okay. So, these I'm talking about the ones in San Francisco. Of course, they were doing this here, and it was a coordinated thing across the country. I know they went out and stopped highway traffic down in here in Oregon. But let's talk about what happened on the Golden Gate Bridge. Dozens of anti-Israel protesters who caused a major traffic disruption on San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge were released from jail without charges due to insufficient evidence, according to DA Brooke Jenkins. Jenkins encouraged affected drivers to contact California Highway Patrol to potentially seek restitution and aid in building a case against the activists. She emphasized the need for further investigation into possible false imprisonment charges and stated that building a felony conspiracy case against the demonstrators who used tactics like chaining themselves to cars and concrete-filled barrels would require more time and specific attribution of conduct. The protest, part of a global campaign to advocate for a ceasefire in Gaza. Now Jenkins, the DA's decision has faced criticism because, of course it would. Contrasting her handling of this case with previous dismissal of fentanyl-related cases. So, yeah, this is a Soros DA in San Francisco, but say that and you're a conspiracy nut. And here she is saying that there's not enough evidence for the people that chained themselves across a bridge and stopped traffic for like 4 hours. Now, of the people that were affected, there were people trying to get to work, nurses trying to get to work that couldn't, help people in hospitals. There were people going to meetings, people that had legal documents that they were taking places. There was nowhere for these people to go. There were obviously no porta potties on the bridge. People were stuck there for at least 4 hours. They couldn't get off. Terrible, and not enough evidence, apparently, to do anything. So what do you think that this will encourage? I'm just going to make a prediction. If you live in a place where there are no consequences for something, there will be more of it. And if you live in a place where there are consequences for certain behavior, there will be less of it. I don't know why we have to, why no one seems to get this, unless this is actually by design, which that's what it looks like to me. It does look like to me that left-wing district attorneys that do not punish certain behaviors, they are in fact being paid to do so. So anyway, that's my take on it. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. But let's get to the next story, shall we? And I'll go over here and I'll throw the chat on the screen. Hey, what's up, Apothecary John, Natasha, Hairway to Steven? Good afternoon. Nice to see you. It is afternoon. Hashtag Rumble Gang. Hashtag Better on Rumble. Fact Check Friday. Nice hair, says Gonzo the Good. Thank you. Yeah, this is what I do for this hair is nothing. I do absolutely nothing. That's that. You too can get hair like this if you have very fine hair and you get out of the shower and then don't comb it. That's what you get. What's up, Rev68? Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Anyway, let's get to this next story. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I could do a wide shot. There we go. Let me just go back in here. Okay. House passed H.R. 4639, the Fourth Amendment Is Not for Sale Act, which prohibits government agencies from purchasing Americans' private data from data brokers, seen as a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Now, I don't need to read this whole thing. The whole idea, and this is interesting because it's one of the actual bills that the name of it kind of lines up with what it actually does. You know, typically names for bills are kind of the opposite of what they do. But essentially, what this bill is saying is that our defense and intelligence departments cannot just go and purchase data from social media companies and different online companies as a way around having to go get a warrant for things. So, for example, it may be possible right now that if they needed for a court case or they were spying on someone and they wanted GPS data on someone, they could just purchase that data from different companies without having to get a warrant. And what the idea of this bill is that no, our intelligence and defense department, they can actually go get a warrant if they need that information. They're not allowed to just purchase it. Now, we know that this probably isn't going to pass, right? I can't see Biden passing this. There's overwhelming support from the public for this, but that would be the assumption that the government and the people in the government are actually working for the public, which I see no evidence of that whatsoever. So anyway, this is a loophole. We've got these data brokers that sell your data, and they can sell them to government agencies. And that's a loophole so that the government agencies don't have to get a subpoena or don't have, it's not going to stop them from doing it. I mean, even if they did pass this, they just wouldn't be able to admit that that's what they were doing, right? But it is nice to see at least someone in Congress trying to pass something that appears to be trying to make the country a better place, as opposed to, I don't know, leaving the border wide open and giving billions of dollars to foreign wars. So, if someone can do something that might actually be positive, that's a good thing. We need some positive news sometimes. But it is a Friday. It's a Fact Check Friday. And let me do this little transition. Hey, what's up, Ox? It is FCF, Fact Check Friday. Okay, now we're back. And I can't play. I can't play the video. You're just gonna have to go look it up. But during a visit to Scranton, President Biden mentioned the possibility that his uncle, Ambrose J. Finnegan, real name, who died during World War II, may have been eaten by cannibals after his plane crashed in New Guinea. However, experts and military records suggest this is unlikely, and by unlikely, they mean totally impossible. While cannibalism did exist in New Guinea, it was uncommon at the time of the crash, and indigenous people would not have targeted U.S. service member or cannibalism. While cannibalism typically involves enemies or family members, the plane carrying Finnegan crashed into the ocean, not into the jungle or anything, and no remains were recovered. Biden's comments have stirred controversy and are considered ill-advised as they perpetuate unfound rumors and detract from the bravery of those who fought in the war. But this was really incredible. In fact, let me see if I can. I wish that I could play you this clip, but again, I don't know. Everything seems to not be working for me today. Live. But all you need to do is Google Biden cannibal, and you will get the news. But well, let's see. I should do the claims are so bad that it reads like an Onion or a Babylon Bee article, right? So here's what Biden said. He said he got shot down in an area where there were a lot of cannibals in New Guinea at the time. They never recovered his body, but the government went back and they checked and they found some parts of the plane and the like. So he said he flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. Now, it turns out Uncle Bozy wasn't a pilot. He wasn't on a single-engine plane. He wasn't on a reconnaissance mission. I think he was a mechanic or something like that. He got shot down in New Guinea, is what Joe Biden said. The plane didn't get shot down. The plane had a mechanical failure in it, and it crashed into the ocean. And then Joe Biden goes on to say there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea. Well, it actually crashed into the ocean, not into New Guinea. So often I think people are so over Joe Biden that they can't even stomach watching him for a minute. But I encourage you to just watch this 1 minute of video. I'll tweet out a link to it if anyone goes to my Twitter. And you can even see it. Let's see, is it on? Of course not. Why would it be? PolitiFact is doing a fact check on it. And yeah, why would they even put the video there? It seems odd that they wouldn't put the video. But it's like he was getting out more things wrong than there were sentences that he was saying. He was getting multiple things wrong per sentence in this. And I think it's really important, just if you haven't checked in on Joe Biden this year, watch this video clip just to see how much he's lost it. I know it's hard and it's painful to watch him, but I think it's important just to see how much he's lost it. Because we shouldn't shield ourselves from the truth. He has an active imagination like a ChatGPT hallucination, or maybe like someone making things up. Can't tell the difference anymore. He used to have graduated top of his class until someone checked. Yeah, Biden has been a serial liar his whole life. It's interesting. I see him, the way that he gets things wrong and doesn't know where he is and all of these things. It reminds me of my grandpa, Fred, when he was 99. But to be honest, I think Fred at 99 kind of had more of his wits about him than Joe Biden does. And I think Fred didn't make things up or lie. Not even like 10% or something of what Joe Biden does. So that's really scary when you have somebody that's 80 that seemingly seems to be in a lot worse shape, than people I knew that were like 100. Right? That's not good. So I encourage you to check out this video. So the fact check is Joe Biden couldn't make it through a single sentence without being wrong about something. Truly incredible. It's truly incredible to see. So I encourage you to check that out. Anyway, boom, 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 boom. All right. Next story. So we got a little thing in between there. Bitcoin is on the brink of a halving event. That's like half, right? It's a halving if I were reading the word as it's spelled, but we say halving, which sounds like having, right? Where the reward for miners and mining new Bitcoins will be cut in half. This periodic occurrence happens roughly every 4 years, reducing the rate of new Bitcoins entering the market and impacts the asset's price and profitability of mining operations. The limited supply of Bitcoins is a fundamental aspect of the cryptocurrency, with only 21 million Bitcoins set to ever exist. Past halving events have seen mixed short-term price reactions, but significant long-term price increases. Some experts predict the persistent demand, coupled with the supply shock from the halving, could drive Bitcoin's price to new highs. However, others caution the event may already be priced into the market, which is what I suspect. The industry may face challenges such as increased operational costs, environmental concerns, particularly regarding energy consumption. So if you've heard anything, it should be happening today, I'm thinking. Later today, maybe early tomorrow is when the halving will take place. So just a definition for you, so you're aware of this. Bitcoin halving, it's a pre-programmed event, and it happens about every 4 years. It reduces the rewards for miners by half, and this process impacts the rate that new Bitcoins enter circulation, and it's got a lot of implications for their price, mining profitability, and just the overall market dynamics. So a lot of people are looking forward to this because often when there's a halving, there's a lot of press attention on Bitcoin. More people buy Bitcoin, spikes the price higher. I don't know what will happen. I think anyone that thinks they know what will happen short term in anything crypto is just making stuff up. I think anything short term, as far as trading goes, is a roll of the dice. However, some people are into Bitcoin. The reason that people are into Bitcoin, there are a lot of different reasons. One of them is to get away from fiat currency, right? To have a hedge against the US dollar. We're seeing inflation go up, and up. For example, I was in Argentina, and inflation was over 200%. Well, it's not very good to save your own money if inflation's over 200%, right? If you have that money, it's worth less and less every day. There is a lot of inflation that's happening with the US dollar, even if you compare it to the Mexican dollar. Okay, did you know they have a dollar in Mexico? Yeah. The Mexican dollar has been stronger against the US dollar for the past number of years. You would have been better off if you had taken your American money, converted it to Mexican for the past number of years. It would be worth a lot more today than it is. And so some people use Bitcoin as a hedge for inflation. Some people choose to use it for a long-term way to hold value, because they can't just artificially print a whole bunch of Bitcoin and send it to foreign governments and to pay for foreign wars, right? You're not going to have that price inflation with Bitcoin. Other people do it to get something outside of the government system. Many people will use Bitcoin because they're speculating that it may be worth more. Now, those people that are speculating, they're just guessing, or they've determined that based on their research that it will be more valuable in the future than it is today. For me, one of the reasons that I like the idea of Bitcoin is to have an alternative to the US dollar. I don't think that investing in Bitcoin strictly for gains, strictly for thinking that it will be worth more in the near future, is necessarily a good idea. I think it will be worth more in the future. But anything like this, there's going to be a lot of variance in the short term. And so if you're investing in it, I say don't invest anything that you can't invest for many, many, many years. If you're going to need that money a year from now or 6 months from now, probably not the best bet, but that's just my take. Um, let's see. Ox says short-term effects, especially for a pre-planned event like halving, is already priced in. That's kind of what I believe. The real movements are from non-public information. For example, military activity drops the dollar for gold, etc. Yeah, exactly. And one of the things is we see kind of fake news everywhere we look. Every article that we look at, every headline, the headline doesn't match the paragraph 7, right? Paragraph 7 debunks the headline. The same can be true when we are thinking about Bitcoin, for example. We just kind of take a lot in through our environment, but how much of that is really true? How much of that have you actually researched? Probably not a lot, But if you're out and about today, there should probably be some Bitcoin events. There should be a Bitcoin happy hour or something in your city. You should look around for it. See if you can find it. I think I want to go hang out with some Bitcoiners today on halving day. Why not? Why not? So that could be something to keep in mind. And here we go, a little transition. Hey, there's the chat. Boom. Okay. Now we're back. We need some good news, so let's get to the good news of the day. Eric Zollinger credits his Apple Watch. Is this a secret marketing campaign? I don't know. With saving his life after a bike accident left him injured and unconscious. Tricky word sometimes. The watch's fall detection features automatically dialed 911 and alerted emergency contacts when Zollinger fell in the shower after the accident. Paramedics arrived and examined him, finding no serious injuries, but Zollinger's face was bruised and swollen. He attributes his survival to the watch's quick response and is grateful for its life-saving capabilities. Well, this is another reason to have an Apple Watch. I don't have an Apple Watch because while I do have an old iPhone, I'm not using an iPhone currently. I don't know. It just didn't. I need a home button. I need a back button. I don't know. There are just some certain things that I need on my phone that I found the iPhone frustrating for me. So I just have a cheap Motorola. And I have I have an activity watch that I wear to count steps and check my pulse and whatnot throughout the day. And I really like it. It's a knockoff, and it doesn't have any features like calling 911 if you fall. That seems like a very valuable thing to have, and that could save someone's life. It would be terrible if you missed out on that because you had a cheaper watch or didn't, It's tricky. It's tricky because I think that that's a really important thing to have, especially if you're an older person. I think back to the old infomercial, I've fallen and I can't get up. What was that, Life Alert? You had the little thing that you would wear, and if you fell and you couldn't get up, you could activate a little thing and it would call people. But the Apple Watch would, because it can detect your heart rate, and if you fall or something like that, it can detect that. And then it can call your emergency contact. It can call 911. It can alert authorities. That seems to be like a very valuable thing. Obviously, if you have all that set up, you are giving away all your privacy. But giving away all your privacy could save your life. There are pros and cons to everything. And but I do think that this Apple Watch. I guess it's the Apple Watch. I thought it was called iWatch, but I guess it's Apple Watch. Can be very valuable, especially like for your parents or grandparents. If you set it up in the right way, it could could save their life if they get in an accident. So if you hadn't considered that yet, I just wanted to give you that information, because I was unaware that they had a fall detection feature. And so I guess that's on the newer Apple Watches. They have a fall detection feature, so if you fall, it can alert people. I think that's really something to consider, and maybe a reason to stick with some more expensive products or services, because as far as I know, the cheap knockoff that I got from China does not have any of those features. So again, trade-offs for all that. Anyway, I'll just go through your comments. Not a whole lot of comments, because we're just about done. Natasha got sidetracked by a neighbor catching up at 2x speed. I've tried watching 2x on YouTube and on Rumble and different things. 2x is a bit fast for me. I think most of the time I can put it on 1.25. That's comfortable. But and then if someone's boring me, then I will hold down the button and make it go 2 times fast. But anyway, but again, that's a nice feature to have, that you can skip through videos if people are long-winded. Don't think I know anyone personally that's long-winded and just goes on and on and on, and that people would want to skip through. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I have. I hope you all have an awesome weekend. I hope you can celebrate the Bitcoin halving. And it might be a day to learn a little bit about Bitcoin if you don't know. I think I'm just about to I've been thinking more and more about the world around me, and I really do think I should buy like a hardcover copy of 1984 and just read it for you to give everyone a chance to hear it, because it's so apt. It's so on point with everything that's happening today. So anyway, that's I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday, and hopefully I'll get some of this stuff fixed. So until then, you all have an awesome day. And I'll recreate the thing at the end. Do 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 do. Peace.